Welcome friends, LostScarf here, and it's time for the new hero patch, Sombra. We're going to talk about Sombra last because we're going to look at all of her hero gallery stuff, we're going to look at her abilities and everything, and just talk about where she probably fits in the game. We're going to go ahead and just talk about everything going on with this patch notes, make sense of it all, and have my own opinions there as they come up. Now, first, I'm talk about all the general stuff, so new menus going on here, so it looks interesting looking going on there, and here's the other menus going on here. And the big thing to talk about is arcade. Now, there's no limits mode because quick play is now single hero, which I don't agree with, but it is what it is. So now it's single hero, but you want no limits, you go over here in arcade. Thing about no limits is it has the same XP as quick play, so it's basically quick play, but you don't have to worry about the limits. That's what's happening there. There's all brawls, 6v6, mystery heroes where it's just random who you are, elimination 3v3, and 1v1 mystery duel. Now, mystery duels, they are mirror matches, best out of 5 is my understanding, and it's random who you get, so it's all about just how good you are with the heroes in general. 3v3 is also on the same map as 1v1, which is Echo Point Antarctica, which is Maze map, so that's cool. And if just playing them once, I believe, gets you a loot box each. And then every week now for playing arcade, every 3 wins will get you a loot box as well. So just incentives to play the different modes besides just the regular stuff to get loot boxes. And ranked, there's going to be a change to that one. Let's see here, Season 2 ends on the 23rd. Season 3 starts on the 30th. You can play ranked in between that time, you just don't get any effect to your ranking. And they're changing how ranking works. They feel like they got way too many people in gold and platinum. And with the adjustments, there should be more people going to bronze and silver. They feel it should work out better, and we'll see how that is in a couple weeks. Another thing to note is leveling up. Leveling up now is after you hit level 23, you should be having to level up by 20k XP every time. After you hit level 100, it doesn't reset anymore. This was done because people would just hit level 100, wait until a holiday, and then play again to get a bunch of loot boxes. That's what they've made that change for. So, there you go. Just keep playing the game. Up next is going to be the buffs and nerfs to the different heroes in the game. We'll take a look at them over here in the practice range. And lastly, we're going to look at Sombra, looking at all of her abilities, her hero gallery, right after we do the buffs and nerfs. Alright, so buffs and nerfs. First up, the general nerf to everybody. You can no longer build ultimate off turrets or teleporters anymore. The other change is that all ultimates now take 25% more to charge up, so there should be less ultimates being seen in matches now. It's just to make it less frequent, because just a lot of ultimate play is pretty cool and all, but it's not as good, like, fundamentally, I suppose, just having teams just play pretty well on that. We'll still see a lot of good ult combinations, but it's just a way to break it up, where just matches were a little too reliant on ultimates, in my opinion, and they still will be, but they won't come up as much, so we won't see any crazy turnovers. Maybe we'll see just better solid play without the ultimates. That's what I'm curious about, just what are they trying to do with that, and we'll see what it is. Now, the first change is Anna. Her nano boost no longer gives a movement speed buff, so you won't see Reinhardt move around like crazy anymore. He'll still hit like hell, but he won't move around like crazy. And the idea here is that it's supposed to be that Anna will now want to give it to different people, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I liked giving it to everybody, but we'll see how that's reflected by other Annas in the game. Next one to talk about real quick has got to be Lucio. Amp it up now. It has been nerfed by 10% when it comes to the healing part. So it just heals 10% less. This is to make Lucio less mandatory, but everybody plays Lucio, so I don't know about that. But it's fine, trying to bring up the other healers, fine, sure. But since people usually use 2 healers now in ranked, we're still going to see a lot of Lucios. Another change is Mei. On top of that 25%, Mei's got another 15% on top of that for how long it takes to charge her ultimate. So that's not bad considering just how good her ultimate is. It's such a solid ultimate, I am fine with that. Now, the buff to Mercy is interesting. The way Mercy works now is 1 second after taking damage, she can regenerate now. No longer 3 seconds, so holy crap, it's going to be a pain in the ass to kill Mercy. Like, you have to constantly hurt her or else she's going to keep regenerating. Oh, jeez, I don't know. I do not know on that one. Now, Zarya's got an interesting one. Zarya now only gains up to 40 from her bubbles, each one. So this one will only charge up to 40, and her other bubble only charge up to 40 each. So if you get both bubbles exploded at the same time, you only go up to 80 now. You will not hit 100 anymore. It's going to take a little bit more work to get 100. Zarya's a very solid hero, so I get why they did this, and I'm fine with it. She's still going to do a lot of work, just not as much. She won't hit 100% as easily, but she still will. Now, I felt like D.Va was in a good place, but she got some buffs. D.Va now has 600 HP. She has 200 of it is just regular HP, and 400 of it is armor points. So she's just going to be harder to kill, and I'm surprised by that. She's just already really good with Defense Matrix. Another change is 25% movement speed increase when she's shooting from what it used to be. Everyone, when they shoot, they're slow, but now she's a little bit faster when she shoots, so she's going to be a little bit scarier when she's just shooting at people, which trips me out. And the third buff has to do with mech recall. And just do this really quick. So now, here's what it is. Just to explain a little bit. Mech Recall, it is 20% decrease to how long it takes to get it, but she does have that general 25% increase. So overall, it's still nerfed to a 5% increase for how long it takes to get to Mech Recall. Which is a bit confusing, but that's what happened there. Since she needs to get her mech back as quick as she can, they decreased it by 20%, which just makes her not as nerfed as everyone else when it comes to ultimate time on that. Overall, holy crap, she got a buff. She's going to be really effective, even more so. Damn. So the buff to Pharah is going to be a little weird to explain. Now, the way this works is the minimum splash damage has been increased by 13%, and the minimum knockback on it has been decreased to 0. Now, what that means is, at the furthest distance of her splash, it will no longer just push someone around anymore. Still, at close range, it'll still push, but at the furthest distance, it won't. But also at the furthest distance, it still does more damage than it used to. That's all they've done, is they made it that at the fringe part of her explosion does more damage, but does less knockback, in the point that it does 0. The other change, of course, is the jump jets, which everyone's been talking about, and that is, she has more lift when she uses the jump jets, to the point that she no longer has to touch the ground. As long as you just know how to maintain your fuel while you're running around and shooting at things, you're good, and then when you fall a little bit, you can just use this, and you're back up in the air and you'll never touch the ground. This allows Pharah to, well, just try to stay in the air, do more work, juke a little bit better from flying back and forth in the air, and just allows her to never fall to the ground so that she can continuously have air superiority. But there's a change that is very interesting for someone who's a counter to her, and that, of course, is Soldier 76. His bullets have gone from maximum 17 to 20 damage per bullet, and he now has a spread that goes by 0.2 further. So it used to be 2.2 spread, now it's 2.4 spread, or is it 2.4 to 2.6 spread? But it's bigger by 0.2. So what it means is his spread's going to be a little more wilder out if you just hold the trigger, but he's doing 20 a shot at the closest range now. And that falls off, of course, over distance a little bit at a time. So he's just going to be a little more deadly going on in general. And for Pharah, who just got that air superiority increase, she's going to have to deal with a 76 that can shoot her better. So it's interesting to see the changes to these two. Now this is an interesting buff, and that's Widowmaker. Widowmaker has two buffs. One doesn't really reflect that much for a lot of people, and that is the Venom Mine no longer hurts yourself, so you can just leave your mine on yourself, and you don't have to worry about getting killed by your own weapon. The other one, though, is Widow's Kiss. Her weapon, 20% faster charge up time, so it just charges way faster. Holy crap. That is really interesting. So just scope in. You got your headshot already. Scope out. Scope in. Got your headshot already. Scope in. Scope out. Scope in. Got your headshot already. Just holy crap. She can now react way faster. She can do her sky shot way fast. Well, what's it called? The hook shot way faster. It's just holy crap. Just really. She can just charge way faster. So this is just to make her more effective. I'm kind of worried about that. Expert Widowmakers are going to be a little too scary. But the question, of course, is just for regular players. I feel like just being able to charge up faster, you might see a lot of body shot Widowmakers now. So I'm really curious how this is going to happen. What's going to happen in general with Widowmaker? I think she's going to be more effective. I don't know. We'll see a lot of her in quick play for sure. Ranked, it's rare to see her in the lower levels. In the high levels, she is so scary. So definitely curious to see what happens there. Now, Torbjorn got a buff that's kind of insane to me. Torbjorn is gaining scrap. 2 scrap per second. Every 50 seconds, Torbjorn can give out 2 armor buffs. That is pretty damn crazy. So every minute, basically, if you want to just dumb it down, you're giving out 2 armor buffs. That is nuts to me. That is just nuts. To reflect that, though, they nerfed how much scrap he gets from enemies. He only gets 15 scrap per enemy pickup. He also now changed to his turret. 25% increase to speed, so he can build his turret faster. And a 27% decrease to damage on his hammer. So he's only doing about 60 damage from what I can tell when he's hitting someone with a hammer. So it's not as strong as Reinhardt's hammer anymore. Still pretty good damage though. And those are the changes to him. Now, the implications of this are just nuts to me. You can constantly just give armor a lot better now. You don't have to rely on running out and risking your life. It's going to make you more of a turtle. Or you can be extremely aggressive because you can gain so much armor. You can just run around, fight people. You got your freaking 200 scrap going on there. I don't know. I feel like you're going to be able to give so much scrap armor so quickly. It's crazy to me. I feel like he's going to get nerfed on how much armor he gives or just how much scrap he gains because it feels a bit nuts to me. Just a bit. Just a bit. I love Torbjorn. We know that. So I feel like it's not too much, but a little too much. Like just a tiny bit. This might get ridiculous, but we'll see. Actually, playing all these heroes, maybe I'm wrong about what I think is going to be too strong or too weak. In my opinion, none of this is going to be too weak. I think they fine-tuned a lot of stuff in general. The only things I think that might be a bit much is Torbjorn, and potentially D.Va and Widowmaker. But those are my opinions. What are your opinions on the buffs and nerfs? Alright, before we take a look at Sombra in-game, let's look at all our stuff. So, skins! Sidro. Cool. Incendio. Oh, I like that one. It's pretty hot. Mar. Oh, looks nice. Noche. Huh. It's a nice blend of black, white, and red. That's pretty good. And gray. Pretty nice looking. Glitch. Very green. Virus. Very not green. A lot of pink going on there. Cotton candy up in here. Azucar. Well, that looks interesting. Los Muertos. That also looks interesting. Hope she glows in the dark. Augmented. She's got hair now. Lots more hair. And cyberspace. A lot of blue going on there. And go look at her emotes. Let's see here. Amused. Okay, hold on. Oh, wow, do that to somebody. Masterpiece. Really interesting. Okay, next up are victory poses. Hacked. Alright. Kneeling. And rising. That looks pretty cool. I want that one. I like that one. Voice lines.
Where's the fun in playing fair? The pelos. Did you mean to do that? You're just a glitch in the system. Good one. Hack the planet.
Of course.
I think you're in over your head. Just squishing a bug. Mess with the best and die like the rest.
Hackers.
Asústame, Panteón. You're taking this very seriously.
Interesting lines. Let's check out her sprays really quick. Let's see here. Which ones would be the new ones? Down here. So these are all her sprays. That looks cool. Okay. Oh, there's that one. Def meat. What? What the hell? It's hacking the kid. What the heck? Eyes hacked. Hacked the moon. Okay. Interesting ones we got going on over here. Machine gun. Or hacking. Neural. Huh. She's got some very interesting skins going. I mean, not skins. Sprays going on here. Not sure which one's my favorite. It's just weird that she hacks the kid that punches, right? That's kind of weird. I think I would go with maybe cute just cuz. Or maybe cute, because I'm not really sure which one I'd really want. But going back, let's go over to highlights. So hacking. It's interesting that you just take someone else's play of the game with that one. Pulse. That looks cool. And undetected. Well, not bad. Those are pretty interesting. So she's got a lot of pretty interesting stuff going on with her. And you can have the gold gun. Golden gun, there you go. So that's all looking at her. Now we're going to go into custom look at her because training practice range does not reflect everything she can do. Holy crap, she can do a lot of things. So it's time for Sombra. So here are her abilities. Machine gun, EMP, translocator, thermal optic, camo, hack, and opportunist. I'm fighting 2 Zaryas to help show what these things can do. So translocator, you can use this to get the high ground. You just teleport to wherever you put the translocator. You can go to it mid-air. You can sit there for those 15 seconds and you go to it. So it's kind of like Tracer's thing, you can go back to a location earlier, but for this one it's just you have it set where it is. Now Sombra's invisibility, you can reload during invisibility, but you cannot shoot or anything during invisibility, and you have like a 1 second delay before you can do anything out of invisibility. That's what's happening there. Now there's hack. Now the way hack works is if you get shot, you come out of the hack. But if you hack somebody for 6 seconds, they can't use their abilities. They can still shoot, but they can't use their abilities, which is interesting. You can do this to turrets for 10 seconds delay on them. You do it to health packs. The enemy team cannot pick them up for 60 seconds, so that's a long time going on right there. So only I can pick this up now, and my teammates.
Feeling much better.
And your stealth, you can do objectives, so I can contest. And they have to shoot me out of this. Like, they shoot me out of invisibility and then kill me. But I can just translocate away and then come back in when I get invisibility again, so I can be very annoying. Then there's her ultimate, which is the MP. Wait for both Zaryas to be together. Where's the other Zarya? There they are. Okay. So check this out. You see, Zarya's got shield HP, right? Bam! What shield HP? Zarya lost it. That is nuts. And look through walls. When an enemy has less than 50% HP, you have opportunist. You can see where the enemy is through walls. So with communication, Sombra can give away so much information about where the enemies are and who's wounded and hurt. So an ally that likes to flank and finish people off should be a great asset to them. Or Sombra can go over and finish them off herself. That's a thing you can do. That's just very interesting going on right there. So those are the implications to Sombra. I think she's going to be a little crazy. I think teams are going to, well, the first week or two, she's going to just dominate kind of well because it's getting used to her. After that point, I am curious where she stands.
Translocating.
Like, a lot of people feel like she'll be a Tracer replacement. Like, if you want to use Tracer, or you don't want Tracer on team right now, you use Sombra for different uses. She's a different kind of flanker going on, like Tracer is. So that'll be interesting. And, yeah, I think she's just going to be a huge bunker buster, though, because of her EMP. She uses that, it gets rid of Ironheart's shield, it gets rid of the abilities on the enemies with her EMP. Oh my god, for 6 seconds, the enemy team might be screwed. So I really like the implications of that, but also don't like the implications of that. She could do some really ridiculous work. You can see right here, let's see if I did not mention it, her bullets do 2.8 damage to, no, 2.4 damage, 8 damage depending on distance. It has the spread of Soldier 76. But if you use the Tracer, it's probably a bit similar spread, so you just get used to that and you can do pretty well, good work with her. And that's everything there is to say. Now, as always, I could be right or wrong about the things I feel about the different heroes with their buffs and nerfs going on in the game. And we will see. Now, there's the thing, yeah. If you hack someone, you can see when they have ultimate. You can't see how much percentage they have, but you can see whether they have ultimate status. Why did I not hack that? So that's an interesting thing you can do with Sombra. So you know how much the enemy team has ult ready. And by doing the EMP on them, for 6 seconds, they won't have ult. That's something you can keep in mind. That is all very interesting there. Now, buffs and nerfs, I feel like everyone... it's all incremental buffs and nerfs, so I feel like they're pretty good buffs and nerfs. Any I feel will be too much or too little, I'm not sure yet. I could be wrong in my opinions. The one I'm not sure about the most, though, is Torbjorn buff. That one concerns me, and I might be wrong about it. But we'll see in the future. So, everything going on here, whatever you're thinking about the patch and Sombra or the buffs and nerfs, or just her skins and stuff, what do you think? I'm really curious what other people think about this patch going on here. I think it's a pretty good patch, but I am a little wary. So that right there is the patch notes video. I had fun making it. Hope you had fun watching and listening to it. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.